Last time, we talked about the background of the construction of the Louvre Abu Dhabi, the process of the construction and design. Abu Dhabi wanted practical and eco-friendly development measures through various economic industries away from the oil-oriented economy. They built a culture and tourism industry on the island of Saadiyat, the first of which was the Louvre Abu Dhabi. However, the construction process was not smooth. The French, who have a strong sense of nationality, were anxious about their cultural elements turning into global brands. However, I was persuaded by the explanation of Abu Dhabi and the Louvre that it was a new exhibition that separates transitions but moves toward globalization, and signed an agreement. Finally, Abu Dhabi will offer a total of about billion for the following services. Today's budget is also as follows. In the design process, Abu Dhabi also wanted to show its culture through its architecture. As a result, the current site where concrete, water, and light can be harmonized was selected. Arabs had to control light when built buildings because of the hot sunlight. Therefore, we created an oasis by adjusting the light so that only 1.8% of sunlight can be transmitted by applying the style of Mashrabiya to the attractive dome shape. These beautiful dome designs have created 7,850 different beautiful rain of light by overlapping 8 layers of arabesque patterns. The shapes below the dome contain the Arab culture that flourished in the past. To create an island on the sea, such as Archipelago, a sand island near Abu Dhabi beach, we connected the sea with the modifier of Palaji, an ancient irrigation system in the United Arab Emirates. Finally, concrete. Let's start with the foundation. I will explain the basic construction of the Louvre Abu Dhabi in chronological order. First, I will explain the process of build a building. In February 2006, a delegation, including the French Minister of Culture and related persons, arrived in the United Arab Emirates. They wanted to build a world-class museum in Abu Dhabi. The proposed site was a sand island called Saadiyat, which means an island of happiness, located only a few hundred meters away from Abu Dhabi's port. There were once many people living on Saadiyat Island, but at the time it was home to seabirds and nest turtle. Also, in the 1970s, there were greenhouse-like factories to supply tomatoes and cucumbers to cities. Even the most notable visitor of this period was heavyweight boxer Muhammad Ali. Abu Dhabi wanted to transform the island that helps its economic power, and in March 2007, negotiations and plans were announced. The plan is to connect new bridges and highways to the island and build a culture and arts center. As a result, the Louvre Abu Dhabi Museum is at the center of the communication between local culture and world civilization. The previous plan was to open museum in 2012, so a huge shoreline and sand barricade was built in the sea. Millions of tons of sand were also pumped into enclosed spaces to build the foundation of the museum with concrete pillars and steel rods. However, construction stopped as the global financial downturn that began in 2008 and the Arab Spring in 2010 postponed in opening until 2014. Subsequently, construction of the Louvre Abu Dhabi resumed in January 2012. Louvre Abu Dhabi pursued a design direction that connects sand and the sea. Later, I was going to refill the water and make it look like it was floating in the water from a distance. We sought a well-balanced design of water and high dome roof in the lowest area of the building. At the time, the project manager said such a design was like taking an empty bottle and putting it in the water. During the suspension of construction, the Louvre Abu Dhabi construction site returned to its original state. A huge pump, which runs 24 hours a day and a year, draining water up to 7 meters below sea level through the dam wall. Even if the water was draining, the salt water that continued to permeate it was not suitable for preserving the museum. So, when the construction resumed in the spring of 2013, the first task was to install the waterproof membrane around the entire building. The waterproof film is made of double-layered green waterproof sheet. The layer was dived into heat-sealed compartment and then vacuum tested to ensure there were no leaks. To prevent further water intrusion, 4,500 columns were wired with the system to prevent concrete corrosion.
And next section is an example of a building similar with the Louvre Abu Dhabi. There are many landmarks in the hot weather of the United Arab Emirates. In addition to the Louvre Abu Dhabi, there are Burj Al Arab, Masdar City, Hayan Tower, and Burj Khalifa. Among them, there is a building built on the island similar with the Louvre Abu Dhabi. It is Burj Al Arab in Dubai. Let's compare this building with the Louvre Abu Dhabi. Burj Al Arab is based on an artificial island 280 meters from the beach. The artificial island is located 7.5 meters above the surface of the water. The main concern in building Burj Al Arab is to protect the island. It was necessary to prevent the waves from breaking and affecting the structure over the island. To strengthen the foundation, 230 concrete piles with a diameter of 1.5 meters are embedded 40 meters below the sea floor. The foundation of the building is not supported by bedrock, but by friction between concrete piles and sand. After the foundation of the building was built, the ground floor was built. At the time, architects and construction companies had conflicting opinions. The construction company's opinion was to use rocks that could easily use existing technologies. However, architect Tom Wright rejected the proposal. His concept is a ship floating in the sea that allows people to get closer to the sea, because using this technology makes buildings go up too high. Therefore, concrete blocks of unusual shape that can reduce the impact of waves were used. Experiments were conducted for stability. The experiment reproduced the waves in the Arabian Gulf over the past 100 years and allowed them to collide with blocks under various conditions. The concrete blocks, which were recognized for their stability after 3 weeks of experimentation, were used technically and aesthetically to complete the Burj Al Arab. This Burj Al Arab example shows the flexible construction techniques when it is an artificial island with strong waves. In contrast to the Louvre Abu Dhabi, concrete blocks are used to fix the foundation with friction between concrete piles and sand and block waves. Since the waves are weak in the Louvre Abu Dhabi, no separate method of blocking the waves was used. However, strong waves can come from earthquakes and tsunamis. Therefore, it would be much safer to use concrete blocks such as those used in Burj Al Arab. Now, we could elaborate more details of the materials of the foundation and waterproofing solution of Louvre Abu Dhabi. Brian Cole, who is a director with Buro Happold Engineering, said, "This project combines one of the most aggressive external environments, seawater, and one of the most stringent requirements for dryness. Especially salt water is the enemy of museums and the precious objects they conserve." So, as construction resumed in the spring of 2013, one of the first takes was the installation of a waterproof membrane to enclose and protect the entire building. To ensure watertightness, a two-layer system was selected. 1.6mm thick TPU Sikaplan membrane was specified for the lower geomembrane. For upper geomembrane layer, another 2.5mm TPU Sikaplan geomembrane was selected. The coating system for the waterproof membrane is designed specifically to withstand the harsh saltwater environment and desert conditions. The combination of Galvasol and Hembasa mastic ensures excellent weather and abrasion resistance, while the Hempasane top coat gives the dome a beautiful and extremely durable gloss finish that will last for many years. Along with the street to protect the Louvre from water, sand, and heat by waterproof membrane for overall structure, the water flooding street was also needed for the final stage of flooding. Basically, the design for the museum was intended to create the impression that it was floating on the sea. Also, when access into the museum, you should be able to enter by car or by boat. So, the engineers were basically responsible for making it possible for the sea to enter the museum site while being protected from it at the same time. The final stage of the construction meant that the water must return by removing and lowering revetment and temporarily platform and allowing areas to flood, creating a lagoon on the mainland. That's why strategic tile foundation methods were important, so that they could fully launch Jean Nouvel's vision for the Louvre Abu Dhabi. Because of the relatively poor conditions of the near-surface soil at formation level, a POW foundation solution has been adopted for both the dome and the general structures. 4,500 concrete pillars were buried in the sand to build the foundation, including 4 massive 110 meters of concrete piers on which the dome rests. They are hidden in plain sight so the dome appears to be floating. Around the edges of the structure, another 280 underwater pillars, concrete breakwaters, and tidal pool were added. For the forthcoming presentation, we will explain the construction, following foundation, and other materialities such as ultra-high performance concrete of the dome. Thank you for listening to my presentation.